Picture this, a scientist so obsessed with the abyss that he'd sacrifice kids, yeah, actual children, for his experiments. Sounds messed up, right? Well, that's Bondrewd the Novel for you. But here's the kicker, his crazy experiments might just hold the key to understanding the abyss itself. Oh, and did I mention he can transfer his consciousness between bodies like he's changing outfits? Yeah, this guy's redefining what it means to be a mad scientist. Hey there, Abyss Junkies, welcome back to the bakery. Today, we're diving into the twisted world of Bondrewd the Novel, also known as the Sovereign of Dawn. Fair warning, this guy's story is not for the faint of heart. Bondrewd is the kind of character that makes you question everything you thought you knew about right and wrong. He's a mad scientist, a loving father, and a total monster, all rolled into one. So, grab your whistles and let's descend into the dark world of Bondrewd the Novel. And trust me, this is going to be one wild ride. Let's kick things off with Bondrewd's appearance, because it's just as messed up as he is. First off, he's always decked out in this long black coat that makes him look like some kind of evil wizard. But the real showstopper, that's his helmet. It's pitch black with this creepy violet light shining through a gap in the middle. It's like staring into some alien eye, totally unsettling. I bet he'd win every staring contest in the abyss. Now, get this. Bondrewd's white whistle is shaped like two hands clasped together. Ironic, right? Given how he's not exactly big on teamwork or compassion. Oh, and he doesn't blow it like a normal whistle. He rubs it. Because why would anything be normal about this guy? But here's where it gets really weird. Thanks to some abyss magic, we'll get to that later. Bondrewd isn't just one body. He's got these things called Umbra hands. Basically, a bunch of bodies he can switch between. It's like he's playing a twisted game of musical chairs, but with human bodies. And get this, his original body? Yeah, that's his white whistle now. You know, the claspy hand one? Talk about putting yourself into your work to a whole new level. This bad boy comes equipped with a lizard-like tail courtesy of an artifact called Third Works. Because apparently being a body-swapping mad scientist wasn't extra enough. So yeah, Bondrewd's look is just as freaky and unpredictable as the guy himself. It's like he's trying to become one with the abyss, and honestly, he might be succeeding. I mean, if you saw this guy coming at you in the abyss, you'd probably think he was some kind of monster, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong. If you thought Bondrewd's appearance was a trip, wait till you hear about his personality. This guy is more twisted than a pretzel in a tornado. At his core, Bondrewd is driven by one thing: knowledge. He wants to understand the abyss so badly that he's willing to do literally anything to get that understanding. And I mean anything. Kids, expendable. Ethics, optional. His own humanity, on the chopping block. What makes Bondrewd so terrifying isn't that he's some cackling villain who enjoys causing pain. Nah, that'll be too simple. Instead, he sees his horrific experiments as necessary steps towards understanding the abyss in his mind. The end justifies any means, no matter how awful. It's like he's playing a game of cosmic Jenga and he's willing to pull out any block, no matter who it hurts, just to see what happens. But here's where it gets really messed up. Bondrewd can be downright warm and caring sometimes. He genuinely loves his daughter, Prushka. He raises her with affection, teaches her, cares for her, and while planning to use her in his experiments. Talk about complicated father-daughter relationships, huh? It's like he's trying to win Dad of the Year and Mad Scientist of the Century at the same time. Bondrewd's also got this weird sense of honor in battle. He doesn't show any hard feelings to people who fight him, and even praises them if they manage to beat him. It's like he's seen everything, even combat, as just another experiment. Oh, you have obliterated half my body. Fascinating. Let me take some notes. Maybe the creepiest thing about Bondrewd is how he feels about the kids he's sacrificed. He remembers all of their names and seems to feel grateful to them. All in all, Bondrewd's personality is a perfect storm of scientific obsession, moral flexibility, and abyss-induced madness. He's the kind of guy who'd push you into a pit of man-eating monsters and then thank you for your contribution to science. Alright, let's dive into Bondrewd's backstory, and boy, is it a doozy. So, once upon a time in a land far, far away. Probably. Bondrewd was just your average criminal with a bounty on his head. Yeah, he was sketchy before he even got the abyss crazy. But then he discovered delving, and things got really wild. Bondrewd was like, you know what would fund my abyss research really well? Crime. So he started selling drugs from human experiments, illegally trading artifacts. It's like he was trying to speedrun the most wanted list. Then, about 15 years ago, Bondrewd got his hand on this special grade artifact called the Zoaholic. And that's when things got really freaky. This thing let him spread his consciousness across multiple bodies. Suddenly, Bondrewd wasn't just one person, he was a whole crew to himself. Talk about being your own best friend, right? 10 years back, Bondrewd pulled off something incredible. He set up a massive base called Autofront in the 5th layer of the Abyss. That's deeper than most people can even dream of going. But of course, this crazy achievement came at a price. A price paid in human lives and ethical violations. And when Bondrewd became a white whistle, he used his own original body as a material for his life reverberating stone. Yep, you heard that right. The guy turned himself into his own white whistle. Talk about commitment to the job. But the real kicker in Bondrewd's history is his experiments with the curse of the abyss. Two of these kids were Nanachi and Michi, and well, we all know how that turned out. Bondrewd's history is like a roadmap of how to become the abyss's most brilliant and terrifying researcher. It's a story of genius and madness, of groundbreaking discoveries and unspeakable crimes. In the end, Bondrewd's history shows us how far somebody can go when they decide the rules don't apply to them. Now let's talk about what makes Bondrewd a certified nightmare in the world of Made in Abyss. First off, this guy's brain is off the charts. We're talking genius level intellect here. Bondrewd's understanding of the Abyss and its artifacts is so advanced, it makes other delvers look like they're playing with sandbox toys. But Bondrewd's real superpower? That's the Zoaholic. This special grade artifact that lets him transfer his consciousness between multiple bodies. It's like he's playing a twisted game of musical chairs, but with people. Get defeated in one body? No problem, just hop into another one. It's like trying to play whack-a-mole with a human dude. And let's not forget about his collection of artifacts. This guy's got more gadgets than a sci-fi convention. There's the gangway, which shoots out these light beams that always hit their targets. Then there's the Sporagmos, a weapon that can disintegrate anything it touches. Anything. It's like Bondrewd took a look at Reg's incinerator and thought, neat. And don't get me started on his full body armor, the canopy onto Dawn. This thing's got more hidden weapons than a Swiss army knife on steroids. Plus, it looks cool because even mad scientists care about fashion, apparently. But the real kicker, that's Bondrewd's cartridges. These things are like his cheat code for the Curse of the Abyss. By using, let's say, ethical, questionable methods, Bondrewd created these cartridges that let him ascend from the deep layers without getting cursed. It's like he's playing the Abyss on easy mode while everybody else is playing stuck on hardcore. All these abilities make Bondrewd a force to be reckoned with. He's like the Abyss's final boss, but instead of guarding treasure, he's after knowledge. And he's willing to go through anyone and anything to get it. So where does our friendly neighborhood mad scientist fit into the grand narrative of Made in Abyss? Well, first off, Bondrewd is like the ultimate, you see what happens when you go too far? Cautionary tale. He's what every delver could become if they let their obsession with the Abyss overtake their humanity. It's like he's standing there saying, hey kids, this is your brain on too much Abyss. Any questions? Bondrewd also serves as the primary antagonist in the Autofront arc. He's the big bad boss that Rico and the gang have to overcome. But here's the twist. He's not evil for the sake of being evil. Nope. He genuinely believes he's doing the right thing. It's like he's playing 4D chess while everybody else is playing checkers, and he's using human lives as the pieces. His experiments, especially the ones involving Nanachi and Michi, are crucial to the plot. They show us the true horror of the Abyss and set up some of the most emotional moments in the series. It's like Bondrewd is the author of the Abyss's horror stories, and we're all just living in them. But perhaps the most importantly, Bondrewd represents the moral dilemma at the heart of Made in Abyss. How far is too far in the pursuit of knowledge? At what point does scientific progress become too costly? These are the questions that Bondrewd forces us and the characters to grapple with. Bondrewd shows us the darkest potential of Abyss exploration. He's what happens when curiosity overrides humanity. When the quest for understanding trumps ethics and morality. He's fascinating, terrifying, and weirdly compelling all at once. As we continue our journey through the White Whistles, Bondrewd stands out as a grim warning of what the Abyss can do to a person. He's a reminder that sometimes the real monsters aren't the creatures lurking in the dark. They're the humans that have lost their way. But hold on to your whistles, because we're not done yet. Next time, we're diving into the legend of Liza the Annihilator. How does a fierce warrior balance being a mum and an Abyss explorer? And what makes her disappear into the depths, leaving behind a mystery that kickstarts our whole story? Tune in next time to find out. Trust me, it's going to be more explosive than Bondrewd's lab on a bad day.